Welcome in, Capricorn. How are you doing? All right, let's get to it. Your June 2026 messages. Hope you're all doing well. As I'm recording this, though, we are yet to get through the full blue moon in Sagittarius at the end of May. We're just getting into the energy now. Actually, we've been in the portal all month of May. I know this is a June reading, but this full moon in Sagittarius is very significant. I will be doing a separate reading for that, of course, but because we're in the energy, I just wanted to mention that because it just might be something, it might be fueling of this conversation today. So, all right. For my Capricorns for June. Wow, these cards are wanting to fly out of my hands. All right, I feel like there's more. Yep, there was. All right. Capricorn, you get some big energy. So these first two, look at that. I'm hearing time heals all wounds. Ooh, I love that. It does. We've got the patience card and the broken heart. And, well, look at that. Oof, we've got hostilities and a man holding a coin. We will be diving into that very shortly here. I feel like if this is not your energy, this is someone outside of you that's been resisting. Or have you been resisting something, Capricorn? We'll see how that wants to play out here. Is this the proper deck? I'm not quite feeling it now. We're going to go with it, Spirit says. We're going to go with it. Spirit can easily adjust, right? Or at least use the energy to its highest. Good. I don't know what that man holding the coin is like staring right at me. Like eyeballing me. He's like, give me the side eye. Here we've got temperance, patience again. So we've got it twice on the table. Could be dealing with a Sagittarius for sure because temperance is Sag energy. But nonetheless, Archangel Michael's energy coming in here to say, I've got this. Don't worry. Nine of Swords, Seven of Swords. We've got some truths being revealed with this Sagittarius full moon coming up. So let's see what kind of illusions get revealed to you here, Capricorn. Empress energy here. The Hermit energy. So there's Virgo, Taurus and Virgo. Seven of Wands. Your inner peace is worth protecting here, Cap. We've got the Queen of Wands as well. Your inner peace is worth protecting. All right. Ooh, get chills down my legs. All right. What's going on here? Thank you. Oh, I'm going to take it in reverse. We've got the Eight of Swords in reverse. So definitely getting clear about something. We've got the 7, 8, 9 of Swords. We've got the Queen of Discs, Queen of Pentacles. There's your energy right there, Cap. I want to say, before I dive in too deep of that Seven of Swords and the Nine of Swords, because that's really calling me as well, I want to say by the end of June, Cap, you've really got a really strong handle on yourself. whatever is clearing and coming to the surface for this full moon in Sag in May, or whatever that brought forward for you when you're in the June energy, I want to say that it feels really subtle, to be honest with you. It doesn't feel like a huge tower moment. It just feels like this subtle moment of clarity around something. We'll see if it has to do with this man holding a coin. Yeah, we'll dip into that, but it feels like, you know, it's like, you know what, I am not willing to let anything from the past disrupt my inner peace. Something that's, I almost want to say, I feel like there might be something returning that's been absent for a while. A thought, an old pattern, a belief system, a person, situation. And for a moment, it might disrupt your mental space, but you're like, you know what? No, I have worked too dang hard for my inner peace, and I'm not willing to let anything upset the apple cart here. Really, really in your power. I feel like the energy as we're stepping into June, leaving May, has offered you an opportunity to say no with a period at the end. You know, no is a full sentence. Whether you're speaking it out loud or you're just saying to yourself, no, I don't allow that in my life anymore. I don't allow someone to come in and I don't give them power to upset my peace of mind. There's just really something, time heals all wounds, and what you found in that time, Cap, is your peace of mind, your inner peace. And I really like that, the way that it feels sitting in the energy. Because the Nine of Swords doesn't feel like it's, you might give it a moment's thought, but that's all you give it. Because you're yes, Ace of Cups, you're ready. So whatever you've been grieving, I feel like it's like that grief has come to an end. Could be an old connection. We do have the broken heart here. So this is just like reiterating, you know, maybe in the beginning of the month it kind of comes back to help you finish out this grieving process, to really fully love on yourself now. It's been a long time. For some of you, you could be getting closure on something. And closure really doesn't come from outside of yourself. It comes from that space of inner peace, from the wisdom that you've gained through that process of the grieving, you know? You've learned how to put up some beautiful, healthy boundaries for yourself. You've learned how to, you know, manifest. I'm burning. I just got some new incense. Not new, but I haven't had them in a long time. And this is like the Indian temple. Oh my gosh, it smells lovely. I wish we had smell-o-vision, because it's just like really taking me to that inner peace. You know, that nobody's gonna mess with my Zen kind of vibe. You know, but I don't feel like you really have to defend it. Because now it feels like it's the embodiment of it. You've done the good work of putting up healthy boundaries. I want to take a look at the Seven of Swords. Then I want to take a look at the hostilities and the man holding a coin. See what they've got to say here. for themselves. So yeah, justice with the Seven of Swords. I'm hearing you're seeing the light of something that maybe was once an illusion. So this, if you're watching this in June, the full moon in Sagittarius on May 31st holds the energy and offers the opportunity to tell ourselves a different story, to start telling ourselves the truth. You know, this is about where we have been convincing ourselves that we were trapped in something that it was nothing but a lie. Many people will be, like I said, telling themselves a different story about connections they've been in, or connections they may have been waiting for even. You know, it suddenly they take on a different role in your movement forward. Spirit saying, let's not talk too much about that full moon right now. Although it is like kind of like hovering, did that come out right? Over this reading here, because I've been mentioning it. So, I mean, Spirit's having me do that for a moment, for a reason. So let's take a look at this guy here, this energy at least, and the hostilities. Let's see what, so this is these numbers reduced to a 7 and an 8. So, and then we've got 9 here with the broken heart. So there's something about, we've got the 7, 8, 9 of swords. 7, 8, 9. There's a progression of energies here. I feel like at the very least you could be starting to really have all the pieces and see how they fit in the larger tapestry of your experience, right? What is this? What or who are these energies? Hostilities and man holding a coin. What does that have to do with Capricorn, please? I'm seeing the 9 of Wands. We'll see if that comes out. It's a cycle that's shifting. Definitely birthing something new here. Hangman, a shift in your perception. Have you been telling yourself, or have they been telling themselves about one story about the situation with you, or vice versa, Cap? And it, you know, that old story gets discovered as not the story at all. It was just the story you were telling yourself, or they were telling themselves. Man holding a coin here. How does that relate to Capricorn? Woo! Okay. Well, we've got some good news coming in. Could be a fire sign. Aries, Leo, Sag. We've got the scarcity energy here. So, yeah, okay. So, one thing I'm getting is this could just be the story that you've been telling yourself. You know, like things were all dried up. Look at he's in the desert. Things were all dried up. There was, you know, there wasn't enough. But you're seeing your relationship with everything, not just money, as I'm speaking about right now, but your relationship with everything has just changed. It's evolved. You see things clearly, where you may have, and we're sticking right with you for right now, Cap, where you may have maybe resisted love. Maybe you've been resisting the universe bringing you someone in that is stable, that's grounded, that will choose you whether you need it or not. It's just somebody who's doesn't need you to fix them, and you don't need them to fix you. That's interesting. But there's a new idea here, a message about a new idea. I feel like you've been getting those messages already, like how to generate and manifest more abundance for yourself. Ideas that are coming, that have been coming, that help you to see that this mindset wasn't serving you. Talk to me about the Hermit, Spirit. What is the wisdom that Capricorn has gained up to this point that is really settling in? Yeah, the freedom. You can go wherever you want. You are not trapped. You are being liberated here from an old mindset, an old belief system. Moving forward, I love a major arcana, clarifying a major arcana, right? I really love that. This is something big. By the middle of the month, I feel like you feel the energies really shifting for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 major arcana, 6 major arcanas on the table with an ace. I like that. What else? What else can you tell me about the wisdom that Capricorn has gained along this journey? How they see through the illusions now. And that's part of the wisdom, you know, you see that everything had a purpose, that you're seeing that you are another major arcana. Let's just take a minute to acknowledge that. This Hermit, the wisdom you've gained has been huge. Are you recognizing that, Cap? Are you recognizing that you hold the power? You hold the key. You've been given all the keys from the universe. We came here with the keys, and you've remembered them. Hands just started like really like pins and needles, tingly feeling. A lot of energy been moving through my palms lately. So you could be, you know, increasing, like if you do energy healing, that part of your business could be, or maybe you're making it your business for the first time, but you hold the power right in your hands. I do want to say it is important for you to protect your energy moving forward, because as you elevate, and you certainly are elevating, 4 major arcanas right here in the middle, you certainly are elevating. Oh, come here. Hermit wants to hide. Typical Hermit, right? He doesn't intentionally hide. It's just goes off and does his thing to be with the universe, right? But it is, once you elevate, it is important to continue to just don't let that part of your journey lapse. You know, it's not about putting up walls. It's about clearing your space, the field around you, the space you live in, your vehicles, your workspace, and protecting it. You know, however you do that. Archangel Michael's blue pyramid, blue bubble, white bubble, crystals, however you choose to do that, it is okay to continue to protect that, guard that with your life, because it is your peace of mind that's going to, I'm spitting on my cards, that's going to, yeah, really, I just want to say propel you forward. That's the only thing I'm getting through here. I got to tell you, this was not the reading I was expecting. Well, not that I had great expectations, but the feeling that I was sitting in before I started the camera, this is very different. Kind of threw me off a little bit, but you know, roll with the punches, right? So you've done a great deal of healing. I also want to say, if you're grieving any kind of losses, it's been a big 1.5 years for me. It hasn't even been 2 years yet since my mom passed in October. So it'll be 2 years in October. But I've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I just learned of a new one this morning. 6 losses of souls that have really touched my heart. And if you're in the grieving process, whether you're grieving something physical, whether you're grieving the end of an old dream, or a dream that you thought was, you know, this Seven of Swords could be, you know, realizing the dream that you had, you held on to, wasn't the dream after all. Do you get what I'm saying? It's a little cryptic, but whatever you're grieving, give yourself that grace, give yourself that time. There's no timetable. There really isn't. It does take time, a lot of time. And I know I lost my grandfather when I was 12. I'm certainly not 12 anymore, right? And all I always got to do is like take me back to that day, sitting there with my uncle. Everyone else was home but me. They called out my siblings out of school, but they left me in school. You know, there was a lot of emotion that I felt that day, not just the loss of my best friend. He and my uncle were the only two that knew my mom was as abusive as she was. So that was devastating, and I can still pull that up. Doesn't mean I'm still grieving, but every time I do pull up that memory, it's very interesting. I'm talking about him today, but every time I do pull up a memory, it gifts me with that opportunity to purge even more, right? So I feel like that's what time offers us, these gifts. And it does heal. I don't know where you want me to go with this, Spirit. It just kind of like faded right off here. Eight of Swords in reverse. Let's take a look at that. Yeah. Healing. Star. It's also wishes granted, you know, when you can release yourself from whatever mindset that you were being convincing yourself of, whatever belief system, whatever truth it was that you've been holding on to, it just opens the floodgates for this beautiful emotional healing to occur, mental healing, spiritual healing. I want to say, whatever you've been praying for, the universe is answering you this month. And again, you can be watching this 5 years from now. If it resonates with you, then it's your reading at that moment. I want to, if you're, pardon me, you know, something about my inner child is coming out, go out tonight. If it's a, you know, a clear night, and make a wish from the heart space for your journey moving forward. Whatever you're wishing for, it's going to be granted for your highest good in the way that the divine has already set it in motion. I got to keep in mind that it's not going to be exactly how we imagine it. So be precise, whatever you're wishing for. But I do see here at the end of the month that, like, being liberated from the mind, this an old untruth, taking your power back, really embodying this peace, really taking care of yourself, shining very brightly for the world to see. Could be, you know, I know I share a lot of my personal experience here on the channel, more than a lot of other readers do. But that's how I'm being guided to do my channel. You know, if something I've moved through connects with what you're going through and it can help you have a different perspective maybe, or to just know that you're not alone, then my job here is done. Done, you know. I don't know, just really suddenly got very emotional, very settled. Um, like I'm fully feeling the chair I'm sitting in. I can feel my weight in the chair. So there's a moment of relaxation coming. I feel like maybe you have been in protection mode, survival mode for too long. I've been talking, I feel like it was like last month, a lot of the readings I was talking about how we've been in survival mode and the body reacts. It tenses up, it clenches every muscle, every orifice, you know what I mean? It just, it, when did you turn over? I've got the 7 of Cups at the top of the deck turned over. I didn't know that. So we've got 3 sevens on the table here. The 1 7 that's missing is the 7 of Pentacles. I feel like not just yet, but you're going to start to see some seeds that you've planted a really long time ago start to bear some fruit. But I feel like something's got to be cleared out of the way first. And I feel it's whatever you've been telling yourself. And it's going to be different for everyone. But yeah, by the end of the month, I'm just really feeling this grounded, embodied energy. It's very soft. And I say this a lot about the Empress. She doesn't have to wear a neon sign saying, I'm the Empress. Ooh, look at me. She doesn't. She's very laid back. She's very settled in her seat there, right? But she's not so settled that she's inflexible, that she's can't grow. She's grounded in who she is, this Queen of Pentacles. She's birthing all new worlds for herself. You know who you are. You don't have to explain it. You don't have to flaunt it. You don't have to dress a certain way. You just have to be you, Capricorn. Something about this 8 of Swords in reverse, it sets you free. How is that manifest? How is that showing physically in Capricorn's life? What is that? Well, I don't know when you turned, so I'm going to turn you back and make sure my deck is right here. So you could have some news coming in, some ideas, like I said before, ideas, sparks of inspiration. There was a lot of cards that fell, so we're just gonna, how is this manifesting? Capricorn's gone through a lot. They've done the healing. A Page of Pentacles. First of all, I want to say you're starting small. There's nothing to rush into here. That's why I'm feeling like really settled. 8 of Pentacles. Yes, you've put in the time and the energy. You know where to put your energy now. This is 9 of Pentacles, adding them together. Very solid, very confident, knowing who you are. Could be, for some of you, going back to school, learning a new craft. Who knows? Yeah, truth. Learning a new craft. I feel like through June, that's what you're doing. You're receiving these ideas, these sparks of inspiration. You're seeing that you were never in this scarcity mode as much as your mind convinced you were, right? Convinced you that you were. And then this liberation with the Eight of Swords in reverse just kind of lets things start to flow. All right, well, look at this. We've got another ace in the Lovers. So we've got 3 aces on the table here. Ace of Cups, Ace of Wands, Ace of Pentacles. Right? And we've got the Justice who wields the Ace of Swords. And the Magician who wields them all. Right? Lost my thought. Bring it back for my channeling. For some of you, there's a choice in who is the solid partner for you. But this coin that you're being offered, you get to choose what you do with it. This gift. You know? These gifts. Look at this. These gifts. You get to choose what you do with them. And it doesn't mean you've got to choose only one of them. You choose all of them. And wherever they fit in your experience, that's where they'll root. That's where they'll produce the most, what is that word? So I'm being shown the Seven of Pentacles again, where they'll yield the most. What is that word? Oh my gosh, I apologize. It's really getting stuck in the coming through here. I can't grab it. But I feel like I hope you know what I'm talking about. It'll yield the most. Does that make sense? Quickly, I want to see where the Seven of Pentacles is. Just for shits and giggles. There's the Ace of Swords. Okay, all right. I feel like the Ace of Swords is someone else's energy, bringing in. They've had to cut their way through the thorns to get to you. I'm hearing that's interesting. Seven of Pentacles. There's that moon in between. Okay, that makes sense. So what I was just saying, I was saying it because of the Knight of Pentacles that showed itself to me around the Ace of Swords. And here's the King of Pentacles. I feel like for some of you, or maybe for many of you, there's someone coming in. There is someone coming in. They may have resisted it for a while. You may have resisted it for a while, but the seed was already planted. Something you didn't see that was growing beneath the surface. But this full moon in Sagittarius at the end of, did I just see an orb, or was that smoke from my incense? I don't know. Something about this full moon at the end of May. It's like you know those time-lapse photos or those little reels you can watch, the time-lapse of a seed growing, where you see it kind of morph under the surface and then it sprouts up. That's what I'm feeling. That's what I'm seeing in my mind's eye. This King of Pentacles needed to grow. They needed to get through whatever they needed to get through. This is also you. You needed to grow. You needed to heal. And you've done the work. It feels very soft. Like I said, this isn't like a tower moment where it's like kind of rushing into your life, like intensity, like we've been getting a lot lately in the readings. this is very soft. It's very gentle. It's like you wake up one day and all those illusions are just gone. And it opens you up to receive so much more. So much more. If you're connected with a Sagittarius, that reading might have a little bit for you in it. Their reading was about they were facing the truth of their own illusions. They've been telling themselves, pretending they were comfortable in one situation when they really weren't growing, and they were done doing that to themselves. So, but they were opening to more. So if that kind of hits you, this reading kind of hits you, you might want to take a little gander at that. Final message here. I know this one went a little bit longer than most, but I think I do that with every Capricorn reading because I am a Capricorn. I want to know more. We've got beloved. Prepare for your life partner. Well, there you go. Romance is returning to your relationship. Believe you are lovable. For those who are already connected with another, this is going to just go to the next level. Something is clearing out so more love can be felt and exchanged. For those who are uncoupled at the moment, this is someone that's aligned with you is coming in, and here he is. So delight, count your blessings and enjoy life. Take pleasure in simple things. Always expect the best. Look at that! I love that looks like a little pony. Yeah, don't forget to have fun on this journey, Cap. I know I love you. I'm a Cap too. Cap Sun, Cap Rising, and Cap Venus with a Leo moon. It's not easy to not be serious. I'm reminded all the time, I need to be a little more playful. I'm too serious. So it is what it is at the moment, but I'm doing my best. So I'm sure you're doing your best as well. We haven't forgotten how to let our inner child out to play, I'm sure. All right, Cap, if this reading resonated with you and you'd like to go even deeper for your own personal journey, please check out my email in the description box, and I would be happy to read for you. I love you, and we will see you next time. Bye.